The law is simple, and it consistently gives you whatever you imagine. I have been practicing and studying the law for a long time, and I have manifested some really wonderful things in my life that I keep on sharing in my Golden Nugget series. In my initial days, just like you, I have manifested free coffee, parking spots, and candies. But the things I considered big were taking a long time to manifest. It was because of the opposite physical reality and my fear of failure. I know you might be facing the same scenarios for some of your manifestations. I can understand it. But I also know that these golden nuggets have had such an impact on your life that you now feel empowered. I am truly happy to contribute to your well-being, and I will continue doing so through 2 to 8 minute golden nuggets. I understand that, for some of your desire, it takes time to shift your reality when you don't adopt the 2 concepts that I am going to mention in today's video. But before we go any further, let's talk about the law. Reminding yourself of the law on a daily basis will help you overcome your doubts. So, the law is very simple, and unlike your conscious mind, it is unbiased and consistent. It does not know what is good or bad, what is positive or negative, or what is a desirable outcome. This aspect of the law makes it unbiased. It knows what inner conversations you are having on a daily basis, just like an artist painting his imagination on a canvas. The law is painting those stories and imaginations in physical form. It manifests your dominant beliefs, which are simply reflecting back to you through your physical world. It is consistent in the sense that it gives you what you imagine most of the time. Your physical reality is simply the product of your imagination. The law will not ask you, do you really want that thing? It doesn't care about your physical reality, whether it is good or bad, because only we humans regard something as positive or negative based upon our opinions about a topic. There is always something positive in the negative, and something negative in the positive. This is because of our opinions and assumptions. The law is just like your employee. You can give it commands, and it does the work you told him to do. The only difference is that it can understand the language of imagination. If you clearly imagine your desired reality, that means you are clearly communicating it to your employee, who in turn will make it possible for you. In return, it only needs an appraisal, which you can give by being grateful and saying thank you. You are the ultimate power over here. The physical reality is not powerful enough because you have the power to change what your reality looks like. You use your imagination to exercise this ability. But if you are stuck in a loop of unwanted circumstances, it clearly tells me that you have shifted this authority to your physical reality. That means you are not using your imagination. You are simply living by looking at your current problems and persisting in them. The problem needs a solution, and that solution is your imagination. Just imagine that the problem is resolved. The forces of the universe come into play and clear those obstacles for you. Reclaim your authority from physical reality. Take it into your own hands and fulfill all of your desires in your imagination. Embrace them and remain vigilant about imagining contradictory scenarios. With all of this, you will now be able to understand those 2 concepts that I was talking about at the beginning of this video. The first concept is that your imagination is actual reality. It is real. What you choose to hold in your mind is reality for you. The second concept is that all of your physical reality is an illusion. It was and is like that. It has no meaning. It was created out of imagination. This is what Neville Goddard was trying to tell you. This is what Abdullah was teaching Neville when he wanted to go to Barbados. The popular phrase, "you are in Barbados," is just picturing these concepts. If you look at it practically, it will look like even though you are penniless, your mind and imagination must be filled with the acts of having the desired amount of money. To make it a reality, you must first feel wealthy on the inside. If all of this were false, then there would be no success stories, from rags to riches. You would stay stagnant in the poor life conditions that you were born with. There would be nothing new. But is the world like that, or is it changing continuously? I know all of you would agree that it is changing continuously. Change is the only constant in this world. Just fill your imagination with thoughts of having the things you desire. Now, this does not mean that you have to be delusional. Your physical reality appears real to you because, in the past, you have agreed with it internally. You agreed to these circumstances by imagining yourself as weak, a victim, unhealthy, poor, unhappy, unlucky, and whatnot. So these things are reflecting it back to you. It is like this now because you occupied the current state in your imagination for the majority of the time in your past. It is not like you imagined the same circumstances, but you imagined a circumstance that gave you a similar feeling. That's why you have to be vigilant. People change every day. Things change every day. Circumstances change. Just move on from those hateful feelings you hold about that person. Because every time you imagine them, you are picking up the lenses and watching the world through them, and now whatever happens, you start hating it. Just hide those glasses somewhere. Wear the glasses of love, and everything becomes lovely. Take note of this new personality, the new concept of self that you would refer to as the new self. In his book, Neville teaches us that we cannot serve two masters, the old self and the new self. Either you can think like your new self, who is powerful and full of love, or you can think like your old self, who feels worthless and complains all the time. You can't serve both at the same time. You can only accept one at a time. That's why Neville said to die to your old self and accept the new self before you can notice your reality changing and before you can manifest your desire. It is dying to the old concepts of yourself, and just like the evolved stage of the scorpion, which is the phoenix, burn the worst of yourself and rise from the ashes to become a greater being. Phoenix emerges from the flames even more beautiful than before. With this, I would like to conclude today's video. Let your excuses take a vacation. Make friends with I can. Always remember that your physical reality has no authority over you. It is just information reminding you of the world in which you are living. Treat it in such a manner. Don't give meaning to your physical limitations, and accept your imaginary acts as true and real to see a greater shift in your reality. I hope you really enjoyed this video, because I did while writing it. Thank you everyone for wishing me yesterday. Subscribe for more such videos. I will meet you with another golden nugget. Happy manifesting.